The War of the Worlds 1953 is one of the most important sci-fi films ever made. It brought H.G. Wells' alien invasion story to the screen long before CGI existed. Relying on practical effects, dangerous stunts, and creative camera tricks that still look impressive today. But behind this classic movie are strange production stories, hidden secrets, and risky techniques that almost got people injured. Here are 15 weird and surprising facts about the film that many fans don't know. 15 weird facts. 1. The Martian ships were originally supposed to be walking machines. Filmmakers first tried building giant tripod legs to match the novel, but they kept falling over, shaking, and looking silly on camera. After weeks of failing, the team gave up and redesigned the invaders as sleek floating machines. This caused a huge budget increase because new models had to be created from scratch. Ironically, the floating effect became the most iconic part of the movie. The change ended up shaping all future alien ship designs for decades. 2. The hovering effect was made. Using wires so thin they were almost invisible, the famous floating ships were suspended with high-tension wires usually used for puppets. These wires were polished, waxed, and lit at a precise angle so they wouldn't reflect studio lights. The crew said even a slight vibration on set could ruin a whole shot. Some actors recalled scenes being redone 20 to 30 times because the wires kept shaking. Today, those wires are almost impossible to notice, even in HD.3. A real forest fire accidentally broke out during filming during the battle scenes. The effects crew used gasoline-based fire bars to create burning landscapes. One windy day, the flames spread outside the controlled area and set nearby brush on fire. Firefighters rushed in, but the director kept rolling cameras. Some of the smoke footage in the final film is from that real accident. The studio later admitted they were lucky no crew member got hurt. 4. The heat tray beam was made from a surprising household item instead of CGI or animation. The heat tray glow was created using glowing copper wires. Thin copper filaments were stretched across the set and heated with electric current until they burned red. When filmed with optical effects, they became the deadly ray. But the wires often snapped from overheating, sending sparks flying near the actors. Many performers refused to stand close during these shots. 5. The Martian creature suit almost cooked the actor inside. The Martian in the house scene was played by a small actor wearing a thick, foam rubber costume. Studio lights made temperatures soar above 40 degrees Celsius inside the suit. The actor could only stay inside for a few minutes before overheating. Production paused several times because he fainted due to the heat. The crew later cut extra ventilation holes into the costume so he could continue. 6. The famous church scene wasn't planned, was inspired by a real disaster. The emotional ending scene, where crowds pray inside a church, was added after the director witnessed people doing the same during a major earthquake. He said the moment felt human and real, so he wrote it into the script that same night. Many extras cried during shooting because they found the scene deeply moving. It remains one of the most remembered moments in sci-fi film history. 7. The Martian hands were filmed using exaggerated lighting to look more alien. The glowing hand that touches the woman's shoulder was designed to be unsettling. The effects team used gelatin and rubber tubing to make the webbed appearance. They then shined intense colored light through it to create a biological glow. The glow became so bright that one version caught fire after a long take. The final effect was assembled from several safer takes. 8. The alien ship sound effect was created by mixing animal cries to create the eerie mechanical hum. Sound designers combined slowed recordings of elephants scraping metal and even distorted bird calls. The mix was then played backward and layered repeatedly. The designers said they wanted a sound that felt alive, but also technological. Many audience members later reported the sound gave them nightmares. 9. The film reused military stock footage to save money because the budget was tight. Several battlefield shots came from real U.S. Army tests. Some explosions were genuine weapons tests filmed years earlier. The filmmakers added Martian ships into the footage using optical printing. This technique helped the movie look bigger and more destructive than its actual set budget. Allowed. 10. Actress Anne Robinson did her own dangerous stunt without knowing it in one scene. She had to fall as explosions went off behind her. She assumed the explosions were small and safely timed. Only later did she learn they were powerful charges placed much closer than normal stunt regulations allow. Her reaction on camera is completely real because she wasn't acting. She was startled by the blast. 11. The Martian probe was controlled by a puppeteer lying on the floor too. Move the snake-like camera probe. A puppeteer crawled beneath the set, pulling hidden wires. He had to memorize every inch of the layout to avoid getting tangled. The movement needed to be slow and creepy, so the puppeteer rehearsed dozens of times. Some crew members joked he knew the house better than the actors. 12. The color effects were so bright they damaged the film's stocked Technicolor cameras were pushed to their limits to capture the intense green and red alien lights. Several reels came back with burn marks or discoloration because the lights were too strong. The studio had to reshoot multiple scenes. This made the film one of the most expensive sci-fi productions of its time. 13. One of the Martian ship models disappeared and was missing for decades after production ended. Several models were stored at the studio. One vanished and was believed destroyed. In the early 2000s, a collector discovered it in a storage locker he purchased by accident. Experts confirmed it was an original 1953 screen-used model. It later sold at auction for a very high price. 14. H.G. Wells' son said he disliked the film at first. Wells' son thought the movie felt too Americanized and different from the original British story. However, after seeing audience reactions and the technical achievements, he changed his mind and praised the film's creativity. He later attended fan events celebrating the movie. The studio used his approval in promotional material. 15. The ending was filmed last minute using clever editing tricks. Scene where the aliens suddenly die from Earth bacteria was difficult to show visually. The studio decided to rely on narration instead of effects. They added shots of collapsing ships, smoke, and empty cockpits to imply the aliens' downfall. The choice turned out to be powerful, and many critics said the ending felt haunting and poetic. The 1953 version of The War of the Worlds wasn't just a sci-fi classic, it was an ambitious experiment filled with risky filmmaking, strange accidents, and groundbreaking effects. Even today, its visuals and sound design influence modern alien invasion movies. Behind every frame is a story of creativity, danger, and innovation. If you enjoyed these weird facts, this film is definitely worth revisiting with fresh eyes.